Good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Righty. I hope your days are going great. And today is Friday. So we already know a weekend is coming, or some of y'all have already started the weekend. So let me check my volumes here. Boy, I got thumbs up all over the board, so I must be doing something right. Uh-oh. Okay, I lost my videos for a few minutes, so I thought something was wrong. So videos haven't been working out for me because YouTube doesn't want me to show any. Because every time I do, it hits me with a red flag, which I really don't understand because uh all the ones I've been using are for educational purposes. And so let's put this disclaimer up right here, right now, even though I've done this also, um, which doesn't make any sense either because I'm doing it for educational and research and teaching. So even though we've been throwing up the disclaimer, YouTube has been shutting me down. So and it's been over showing videos. So I'm not really sure what that's about. It seems to be a new thing they're doing. Now, if I had let me see the way to put it, avocado penis up there, it would be good to go because that seems to be what other people are showing on their channels, and that seems to be fine. They allow that. Uh, they seem to allow images of people's what's that you can clearly see, and there's no problem. So no, I don't know what their deal is. I think they got it all backwards, but nothing I can do about that. So not going to hinge on their negativity. I'm just going to uh try and do my best to get y'all the information that you need to know and move on. you know Now, is today's story any better than any of the other ones? Well, I seem to find my way to all the nasty, horrible things that people do. That's just how it works out. Um, but with that said, let's get this stuff started.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with me today. We have to talk about something that's just horribly sad. And I want you to think about this. I want you to understand that each of these blocks represents 1 pound.
There you go. If you don't know who this is Sheriff Grady. He's pretty popular on YouTube. He's from Florida, and he is a bulldog. Um, he he is shows no mercy on people that do things to children, and just he just has no mercy for people who do things to children, and I really like him a lot for that. Um, as he just said, please imagine that each one of these boxes that he has on the screen is 1 pound, not one child, 1 pound. And be sure to notice on this big stack over here, he has a three and a two. So that's five. And then each one of these other ones are 1 pound. And then on his would be his right side, but on the screen, you would think it's his left side toward the American flag. There's only 6 pounds on that one. So please pay attention to that.
We started an investigation where a child was starved to death, died of long-term starvation. And what shocks our conscience is nothing in this world is more important to us than our children in their growth, in their ability to thrive. They're the most important, precious thing in our life. They're innocent, and they depend solely upon us for everything. So this little girl, this baby girl, was born at 6 pounds and 10 ounces. 6 pounds and 10 ounces.
It's really important that you pay attention to what he's saying right now. He's saying that a baby was born at 6 pounds. That is very, very important to this story. I normally would get on here and tell you the information, but I'm going to do that after this video because I feel like Sheriff Grady has a very important story, not only about this child and his view, but about the blocks that he has up there showing. And that's really more important than what I have to say.
This baby, when it died, weighed 9 pounds. This baby should have weighed 32 pounds. This baby was born on July the 25th, 2019. Between July the 25th, 2019, and when they took the baby to the doctor in January of 2020, the child had gained 3 pounds, was thriving. Listen closely to what I'm going to tell you. Between January the 2nd, 2020, when the baby went to the doctor for the last time, and May the 10th, 2022, which was 2 years and 4 months, that sweet baby gained 1 ounce. One ounce. So the baby should have been 32 pounds. The baby should have been talking, putting sentences together, asking questions, telling that my diaper needs to be changed, running, jumping, and playing. When this baby died on May the 10th, she couldn't stand. She couldn't talk. She couldn't walk. This baby
I'm sorry, that's my fault again. Here we go. I think I got it right now. A Davenport couple were arrested on Wednesday and charged with a felony child neglect after law enforcement responded to a 911 call found nearly found their nearly 3-year-old toddler dead. Now I'm going to stop Sheriff Grady where he is right now and continue on with this just to give y'all some better information, and then I'll continue on with Sheriff Grady. Sheriff Grady Judd said deputies responded to the home of Regis Johnson, 57, and Honda Tillman, 35, located at US 1792 on a Tuesday after receiving a call about a toddler who wasn't breathing. The 34-month-old girl was found dead in an inflatable pool being used as a makeshift playpen. Hmm. Later Thursday afternoon, Davenport resident Frank Johnson, who's 64, was arrested and charged with one felony count of neglect child abuse causing great harm and one felony count of failure to report child abuse. We're talking about these three winners right here. And one felony account of failure to report child abuse. Robinson Johnson's brother lived in the home with the couple, was aware of, and did not report the toddler's condition, according to the sheriff's office. Judd said it was immediately clear the child suffered long-term starvation. To give you a visual, I'm pretty sure, like everybody else, if you've ever seen those SPCA commercials where the dogs are just skin and the bones are protruding out of the body, if you can get that visual, this is what we're looking at. Johnson told deputies he had placed the child in the inflatable pool at about 5:15 a.m. Tuesday, and she played with her toys. He said the toddler had not wanted to eat much for the past 2 days, and he would only take a few. She would only take a few bites, according to the sheriff's office. Tillman, the child's mother, told detectives that she had attempted to feed the child a turkey sandwich on Monday before bed, but the child did not want to eat. The sheriff's office said she didn't know when her child had last seen a doctor, but stated that her child could crawl but not walk. Judd said there was food in the home at the time of the child's death. Medical records documented that the child weighed 6 pounds 10 ounces at birth. Judd said at an autopsy performed by the District 10 medical examiner's office found that the toddler had no food, none, zero, zip, in her stomach and only slight traces of fecal matter. There's no shit in the body, there's no food in the body. And if there's no fecal matter found, then that means there hadn't been any in the body in a long time. The toddler weighed 9 pounds 5 ounces at the time of her death. An average child of the same age should weigh about 32 pounds, just like Judd said in the video. This child didn't just get sick and pass. There aren't even adequate words to express the frustration. There were warning signs prior to the child's death of potential neglect, Judge said. Detectives contacted the toddler's pediatrician to find out when the last visit was. and that would have been January. The 6 month old checkup. The medical office reported it had attempted to follow up with the parents numerous times because there was concern the child had cystic fibrosis. On December 10th, the State Department of Children and Families began a medical neglect investigation into the home, into the family, as the child was reportedly consistently losing weight and the parents were not following up with doctor's appointments. The state's agency report found a couple compliant with all DCF instructions and noted several positive weight check ins. Now, how can they be compliant and this happen at the same time? That makes no sense. Judge said Johnson was instructed to follow up with the child's primary care, and the DCF investigation was closed. That doesn't make any sense. The DCF is checking on this child and claiming everything was fine. It's not clear who reported the couple to DCF. Judd said, as reports are kept confidential, so you can't know. And there were no other children in the home. When detectives followed up with Johnson after the child's autopsy, the father admitted he knew his daughter was not gaining the weight and not developing as normal. Well, if you know that, why ain't you doing something? That people like this just amaze me. Hey, I know something's going on. I know something ain't right, but I ain't gonna do shit. And then claim, yeah, that's my. It isn't like he didn't say that ain't my kid. According to the arrest affidavit, Johnson admitted he did not seek further medical attention. Sheriff's office investigated is going on. Sorry. Judd said he intends to charge Johnson and Tillman with the appropriate level of medical charges and many other crimes under the law once the investigation is complete. He's going to throw the book at him. We have the same questions you do. Did no one see the child in this condition? The couple's home is also registered as a business address of First Class Car Getters, a business operated by Johnson's brother. So Tillman is currently 4 months pregnant again. Oh my goodness. So she's pregnant with another child. See, that's the thing that gets me. Just like Brianna in my last story. You got one kid that you've already neglecting, and you're bringing in another one into this world. And I hate to say it this way, but it is what it is. Whenever animals do things like this, and we start telling the people to spade and neuter their animals, spade and neuter their animals, why is it different for a child? If you have a child coming from a parent, it's not even a parent. They're not being a parent. They're reproducing, but they're not raising the child. They're killing the child. Why is it we don't say tie their tubes up so they can't have any more? I don't understand that. According to the deputies and judges, there's no medical record to confirm this, but Tillman will receive prenatal care in jail. Prenatal care is not the problem. It's after. I hope they take this child away from her if she is pregnant. The couple were scheduled to be arranged on Thursday. Uh, the office is pushing for a high bond or none at all. How about that? None at all. Despite neither Johnson or Tillman's having a prior criminal history. Well, you sure made up for that, didn't you? I don't understand some things. I mean, to me, harm to a child has to be right on up there with the highest, charges. Had to get some water. Hold on. That's just me. I mean, these three losers and the brother. Oh, I didn't know. Mm-mm-mm. I just don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of questions being found starved to death in Davenport in the first place. Are Honda Tillman and Regis Johnson the mom and dad? Um, as the other relative, Frank Johnson, they deserve to be in jail for. They don't deserve to get out, and each one of them has a $500,000 or more bail bond on them, and it needs to be so high they can't get out, even if they £9 in a pool. No way, no how. Like an EMT or paramedic just wouldn't want to be the one walked into it. I mean, I can't even imagine the heartbreaking sight of just skin and bones. I can't even take seeing dogs or cats like that. I damn sure wouldn't be able to take if it was a child. I don't like seeing the commercials where they have dogs and cats like that, and I can't handle it even more when they have children on those commercials. I mean, yes, I'm one of those that changed the commercial pick. I do donate to causes already, but that's not the point. I just don't like to see that. And the baby's family was on the radar with the Department of DCF, Department of Children and Families, and the case for them was closed after a under-disclosed period of time when workers for the DCF determined that the baby was being fed appropriately. She was improving. Well, damn, when was that? Provided any details on the case. Experts even suggest that the agency may have followed its own protocols. And we're just gonna make this shit up now. DCF should be the people that were in charge of this. Well, if your case and you weren't doing your job, you should be held accountable as well. That's my thought. Because if the child was gaining weight over a period of time, if they had welfare products and a refrigerator full of food, and the house was terminating parents' rights.
messing up a little bit.
Now is that better?
It should be.
My mic is messing up. I don't know these things unless Squirrel Girl comes and tells me. So please excuse any weirdness with my mic and he cut out stuff in my mute period of time. For a period of they'll close the deal. But I think this kid,
I'm getting like every other word.
maybe it's your phone. Now I don't know if it's the microphone or the phone because you're here, take my phone and do it. Because we always know your phone messes up. Here, get on the other side and take it. I'm just gonna keep going like I'm going. If something's going on with my microphone, I apologize. Any conclusions, but not all the facts were in when this report was made at this point in the investigation at DCF, because DCF is called the hundreds of incidents every day. I know, and I have watched them be remarkable work here, but they can. I hate when I hear them say that everybody, they're overworked, they're underpaid. Hart really said in this case of why a child is so important to ensure. I mean, this child just didn't get sick and pass. Because the couple was found to follow couple followed and complied with all DCF instructions. Mm-mm. It just is so heartbreaking to hear a story like this. Let you guys finish hearing a little bit of
Big because of these people.
back that up a second.
And May the 10th, 2022, which was 2 years and 4 months, that sweet baby gained 1 ounce. 1 ounce. So the baby should have been 32 pounds. The baby should have been talking, putting sentences together, asking questions, telling that my diaper needs to be changed, running, jumping, and playing. When this baby died on May the 10th, she couldn't stand. She couldn't talk. She couldn't walk. This baby never got to be this big because of these people. This is mom at 35. This is dad at 57. Allegedly, he was her counselor at church along the way. Oh, he weighed 213 pounds. Oh, Rhonda Tillman, mom, weighed 144 pounds. Did I mention to you that she's pregnant? According to what she says, about 4 months pregnant. There was food in the house. Regis Johnson, the dad, told us, oh, the baby ate a sandwich yesterday and some chicken nuggets last evening and drank. Well, that's just a bald-faced lie. When we did the medical examination, that child had zero food in her stomach and only slight traces of fecal matter in the intestines.
Do people really think that if do people really think that the sheriff or the medical, I guess they don't think about the medical examiner. Do they think they're just going to take their word for it? Do they think there's not going to be some kind of test for them to know whether or not the baby has eaten or not? I mean, I can't get the image out of my head of this child, but but how can you sit there with this baby in a makeshift pool looking like that, and you're looking over her watching TV and eating and like be okay? What the hell?
The child suffered long-term starvation. Now, I want to call your attention, for those of you who remember the Sally Struthers commercials where she was raising money for the children that were malnourished and starving. And you'd see those horrible pictures of those children. Keep in mind, they were still alive. This baby laid in a playpen made out of an inflatable swimming pool and starved absolutely to death. Regis works for his brother at a business called First Class Card Getters on Highway 1792 between Haines City and Laufman. And that's allegedly where they lived. We know that the doctor did the things that he should have. We know that there's investigations underway. We're doing a lot more investigation. There's a lot of questions we can't answer because we're early into the investigation. There's some questions we can't answer because they're protected by DCF regulations. These folks are both charged with aggravated child neglect at this moment in time. Obviously, it is our intention to charge them with the appropriate murder charges, but we've got to do medical investigations. The medical examiner's got to complete some work before we file those charges. But we got them into jail just as soon as we could.
And yet it wasn't soon enough. It wasn't soon enough, and that's not their fault. It's not the police's fault that they did not get them in jail soon enough to save that baby. And that's if the baby could have been saved. I hope they throw the jail on top of them. I wish that maybe starve them to death is their punishment. The guy weighed over 200 pounds. The mother weighed over 130. They obviously are well fed. I know we can't pay people back that do these crimes in the same way that they deliver. That's not the law. We can't unring a bell that's already been rung. But I would like everybody out there who sees something to say something. It's time for this stuff to stop. I don't care if somebody lives next to you, if they're your friend, if they're your associate, if it's something you just happen to see one time. If it strikes you as odd and weird, or you can't make sense of it, report it. Because if there's nothing wrong, then it's no harm, no foul. But if there is something, just a small, innocent little thing that you report could save a child's life, or you know, a kid's life, can be a miracle. We need to start being the miracles to children. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.